DPP Ubers is pretty much my favorite thing ever, and I wanted to do something great for it, something that would advance it, the greatest thing that could be done for it. And yes, I have made many videos on it, and I will continue to do so, certainly, because I love discussing that stuff, the little nuances and details and possibilities that exist within the tier that I just love exploring. You know, how great Protect makes Ho-Oh, and, you know, the myriad dangerous sets Garchomp has, and how unique they are in their offensive attack, and how unique the many approaches Mewtwo can take are, and how they can really solve difficult-to-solve problems in team building, and the interesting place Wobbuffet has in the metagame. And I have to stop myself there. I'm going to keep going, like the amazing place the Swift Swimmers have. That's another video that's coming up. But, you know, that I want to do something more. I wanted to provide a platform, if you will, for the all the players and voices, so to speak, in the tier to come together and be able to put on display the nearly endless possibilities this tier has to offer at the highest level. So that means I'm organizing a tournament, or I've organized the tournament already. This video is the announcement for it. It's the introduction and letting everyone know, hey, this is starting. Come join, come watch, come enjoy. Enjoy. I realized I didn't enunciate that very well, so it sounded like I just said joy, like have joy that it exists. Although you also should, because it is a very joyous occasion. Anyway, so I'm organizing a tournament, and yes, we have many other DPP Ubers tournaments throughout the year. Maybe not many, but a decent chunk. And they're great. They have great players, great battles, great teams, but they have their issues. In the team tournaments, which comprise the majority of these, then the games are best of one, and there's a limited slot of players. There's a limited number of players that can play the tier. And then in the individual tournaments, then there's less of them, and the games are less visible, and players might not make it to the later rounds because this is a game called Pokemon, so it doesn't get pushed forward as much on average, for sure. And these tournaments both have the issue, or tend to have the issue, that there is naturally a good amount of recycling in the tier. Less so in the team tournaments, because people really try for those, but those also have less games. So you see how these two each have their issues. So I wanted to create an environment where neither of those tournaments' issues were present. We would not be limited by best of one, and all games would be public. And there would be no recycling. So this is an invitational tournament of 48 great DPP Ubers players. And I've hunted them down from across the years. There's a great mix of new and really, really old, as in played the tier while it was the current gen old. I invited only people who have been known to play the tier at a high level, and team build as well. So this is not a, hey, let's see what this player's never played the tier before. Let's see what they do with Dialga and friends. Not interested in those kinds of experiments. Could be interesting, especially for next year's edition, because there will be an edition next year. If we're really expanding and need to bump up the players. But for now, I wanted to stick with people who know the tier. So our first rendition does not include people who go, oh, well, I forgot Rayquaza had base 95 speed instead of 90. So that's something that I've seen happen, actually. So, yeah. We have 48 great DPP Ubers players who can team build, and it will be all games, best of 3, and we will not have single elimination. We're going to be using a Swiss format. More on that in a second. And every game will be public, and in fact, it'll not just be public. More on that in a second as well. But each battle will also be recorded and uploaded by me, with full analysis and all that fun stuff. Because this is a learning tournament. it's a showcase for this beautiful tier, and we need some analysis to go with it. There's also a rule that I discussed with every single player before inviting them. The rule is, if you're going to play in this tournament, you have to build your own teams. Non-negotiable. That's the whole point of this tournament. Because as great, I have no doubts that the quality of the play will be excellent. But what we want to see in this tournament is the tier's boundaries being pushed, new possibilities being explored. And for the most part, then most of the players who are playing DPP Ubers are not doing so for glory. They're doing it because they love the tier. So most of the time, they are going to build their own teams just because that's how they enjoy the tier and they like thinking about it. However, I wanted to eliminate those games that are just kind of forgettable because one player decided, or both players decided, let me just grab some teams from my friend or from some team dump or something, and let me just wing it. I wanted people to be invested. So there is a rule that if you play in this tournament, you have to build your own teams. Now, I'm not saying you have to build your own teams for every single game, like brand new teams for every single game, because that would be ridiculous. That would be an incredible strain on the players. Obviously, I prefer when you build new teams, but I know that it's also crazy to expect that you will. I think most people will have a good number of teams that they're going to be choosing from, and that's fine. What I wanted to make sure was not the case was that people were just going to phone it in and borrow some teams, especially those who haven't played the tier in a while. I let everyone who I was inviting know where the resources were, if they needed some help getting back into it, and there was a ladder, and people are already testing in the Discord for the server, so that's wonderful. But yeah, that's the general idea. Now, obviously, I have no way of truly checking this. I can tell if someone is clearly, stealing a team from somewhere else, because I know the teams, and it's not very difficult to tell. I know the popular teams, rather. Obviously, I have no way of checking if your friend built your team for you, or, and I'm also not going to be, real tough on, this team is the same set of 6 Pokemon as this other, team that's similar in style. You clearly ripped this off, because especially in a tier like this that's so centered around the such strong Pokemon, then this happens in every tier anyway, but a lot of great players come to the same conclusions independently, so that I don't have a problem with. And there's somewhat of an honor system, but I don't think that's going to be a problem, because, again, the people who are playing this tier are doing so because they love to play it. So I just wanted to make sure that rule is in place just to avoid any clear recycling. And I think that this will make for the best tournament. Oh, and, you think, what's their, motivation? There's a cash prize, of course, because that's how you get the best. People are really, really going to try if there's a cash prize at stake. There's not a singular. We have a prize pool currently of several $100 at this point, but I don't want to give a final number in this video because people have said they want to donate, and I'm sure they will continue to do so. So I don't know what the final is going to be, but I'm real excited about that already. That people have been so enthusiastic about wanting to throw some cash in. If you want to join and donate, then feel free. All the details are in the Discord server. So yeah, this video in the description, and I'll put it in the comments too, has a link to the Discord server of this tournament, and you can join and watch the games as they happen live. Obviously, if you don't see them live, then the replays will exist and be posted on the server. And I'll also be uploading them and analyzing them on this channel, so you don't have to worry about missing any. But if you enjoy seeing games live, it's a different type of hype. It's an electrifying experience. then you can join the server and you can be given the role of a spectator or whatever I wind up calling it. And that when a game starts, then you will be highlighted, hey, there's a game happening right now, and it's at this link, and you can come check it out. So, and you can also, interact with the players of the tournament. So, yeah, it'll be a good time. I ask that you give them some some space and some courtesy. Like, don't ask someone who's just lost if you can have their team. That's a little rude. It's more than a little rude, actually. It's extremely rude. And chances are, if someone just lost a game by misplaying on turn 11, then they know they misplayed, and that they know what their misplays were. So you don't need to ask them, hey, why did you make this misplay on turn 15? Wasn't this other move better? So, I would steer clear of that. That's, yeah. Anyway, so now that's pretty much all the details necessary, except for the player base, which we will go over right now. So I dug up a lot of really old players, and some very new players as well. We got a great eclectic mix, and I'm very excited to see them face off. We're not going to do a player-by-player analysis here, but I just wanted to go over who we've got. Hopefully that gets you hyped. So, yeah, we've got ZF, I'm just going to list them off like a poker rap. ZF, Tomahawk, High Lord, Donkey, Lassen, Hack, Stone Cold, Soulwind, Conflict, 64 Squares, Byron the Well, Feint, FC, Inspirited, M-Dragon, Jirachi, Zael, Lord Thorx, Johnny G2, Eo Ut Mortis, August, Twash, HSA, Lorianne, Staxi, Sky Solo, aka The Strap, Malekith, TSR, Ladybug, Zephyr, Extra Shine, 6A9 Ace Matador, Steel Skitty, Mr. 378, AIM, Finchinator, Jabba the Griffin, Aisha, Alex Walls, Loco Poke, Ray Scarface, Gary Oak, Aiko, Crystal, Squin, Benbei, Pogis, and Manaphy. Yeah, I would have loved to have gotten a lot more. I reached out to a lot of people, including those who haven't played the tier in like 10 years. So a lot of them are who haven't logged in for a while, they're gonna log in to find a message from me in their inbox, hey, do you want to play? And that's going to motivate them to join next year's edition. But I'm confident that this first edition is going to be excellent. And chances are, whoever you have in mind, if you're an old school DPP Ubers player, it's like, hey, did you invite, like Jabaku and Iris and like Deep Thought and Mind and all those others? I tried, I really did. And I like Iconic and Theorymon, and I really tried. Please don't worry. I know who you're missing, and I wish, but if that's another reason why this first edition I'm excited for, because it's going to open the door for more people to want to come back for future editions. And, who knows, maybe we can do this kind of thing for other wonderful, underappreciated tiers like DPP UU or Gen 5 RU or Advance, whatever. A UU, Ubers, a combination. Who knows? Anyway, so those are the details. I'm really excited. Might do a video on on these players, but don't count on that. That's just me thinking out loud because I would love to do that. But these players are all accomplished within the tier. And I'm really excited to see what. And actually, it's probably going to be better if I just introduce them in their own battle videos. They're the first of those. So yeah, we're going to be running a Swiss format because one and done is awful. And with 48 players, it was originally going to be 32, and then we got up to 48, which made me really happy. But it also meant that we could not do the original planned format of best of 3 dual elimination, because otherwise this tournament would go on forever if you have double elimination round robin just endlessly. So we are going with Swiss, which I still have to figure out at the time of this video, actually. But yeah, it's gonna have a lot of games and no one and dones, and I'm really excited to what every single player brings to what their best is gonna be, because these players are really creative. Just for the fun of it. So with real motivation at hand, being able to showcase this for so many people, and even potential monetary gain, then yeah, the sky's the limit, and we are going to see what I hope is the highest display of skill in DPP Ubers of all time. I realize it's a tall task, those DPP Ubers. Whenever great players sit down to play this tier, it's always a display. But I'm really hoping we blow the roof off the metagame in this one. So and I'm very, very excited to follow it. And I'm very thankful to all the players who have decided to join and give it their all. Because I told them, look, if you're gonna do this, then don't do this half-heartedly. But and they were willing, so I'm really excited. And I'm also thankful to those of them who have decided to donate. And if you decide to donate, however small an amount, even $5, that goes to the overall prize pool. So, yeah. All right, that's about it. So thank you guys for checking this out and joining the Discord server and all that fun stuff. And I hope this tournament is as fun for you as it's going to be for me. Just kidding. It can't possibly be as fun for you. But I hope it's really fun anyway. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on Discord very soon. And if Discord's not really your thing, then you will be seeing the battles from this wonderful tournament on this channel very soon as well. Alright, I'll catch you guys soon.